I'm DV, your humble GM and adventurer, and today we're playing more Mothership solo play. Last episode, Cade and Devin were jumped by a group of bounty hunters that caught up to them in the Hope system. They defeated them pretty handily, all things considered, and were able to repair their dropship just enough to get back into orbit. However, their communications are shot to heck. They found that the shipwright ship the bounty hunters had arrived in is currently unmanned, at least not crewed by anyone that attacked them as they slowly approached the shipwright ship. That being said, there could be something on board that they are not aware of, and that is where we left our adventurers last time. And so Cade slowly docks his dropship using his expert piloting skills to land the ship inside of the docking bay of this shipwright ship. He turns to Devin and he says, "Are you sure about this? This could be a trap." And Devin looks grimly at the status board of his dropship, desperately trying to push buttons and make the comms or array work to see if he can reach out and maybe find out some more information about this ship. But alas, it's no hope. It's been damaged too much by the fighter attack that from the bounty hunters. And so they touch down inside the docking bay. He looks over at Cade and he says, "This might be an opportunity for us to get untethered from being stuck in this system. We can freely go wherever we want. We can run, we can hide." And Cade says, "Yeah, but don't you need like some medical attention first?" And Cade and then Devin punches his fist. "God dang it. I do need to get treated for these things. This cowardice that I need help. We can't survive like this." And Cade kind of makes a little smirk because he's really sick of Devin's cowardice. But Devin is too, Devin is not happy with this phobia that he's acquired since his run-in with the Hellkite Defender all those days and weeks ago on Arya. It really scarred him, and he really needs some help to get rid of that cowardice and that feeling of doom. And he knows they can only do that on the station here in the Hope system. And so they have a decision to make. Should they proceed on to the station bordering or orbiting Hope 5 and see if they can get that medical treatment done now? Should they try to capture this ship against who knows what odds are here? Who knows? Let's take a look and review what we know about the Scorch station. It's in orbit of the Scorch moon. It's ran by the University of Idris Minor. And we know that there is a medical and energy research facility there on that station. And we can probably get treatment there in return, probably for more jobs, I just imagine. Or we could try to capture this ship. Difficult decision. Let's see what the Oracle says. Is Cade up for capturing this ship, or does he want to go to the station? What does Cade think? I think we're going to give him a 50-50 chance. Over 50, he wants to capture this ship. It's at 30, he does not want to capture the ship. All right. So Devin asks Cade, he said, "Do you think we can take this ship over? We don't know if it's defended and so far, has anything come into the docking bay? Any droids or automated defenses? Are there any droids or automated defenses in the docking bay?" We'll do a 50-50% chance. Over 50 is a yes. Yes, there. Oh my God, it's a hell yes. I mean, it's a hell no. Excuse me. It's a hell yes. So, when Devin asks Cade that, suddenly in walks a squad of defense bots. These are not your normal androids that are ran by an AI, like are human-like. These are squat robots that have rectangular shaped bodies and very clunky legs. On their arms is a submachine gun built into their arm. And how many of them are there? We'll say, is there more than one? 50% chance? Less. So is there more than one? No, it's just one. Okay. That's interesting. What is this robot's stats, however? I'm going to say it looks to be like an old model of robot. Is it on par with our combat stats? So we'll say, does it have a combat stat over 30? No. Okay. So we'll say it's 30 then. Okay. And what is its instinct? Is its instinct over 30? 50% chance? No. Okay. So we'll say it's 30. How many wounds does it have? Does it have over one wound? No. Okay, man, we're doing good here. We are rolling good considering we rolled that there was defenses here. Okay, and it was a hell no, so, a hell yes. Excuse me, I keep saying no. So it has one wound. Let's roll for its health. We'll give it a good D20 for its health. One. It's a 1 health. Oh my god, it's so weak. Okay, so it looks like it's an old model of defense droid that probably is like a refurbished military model from several decades ago. It is well armed with an SMG in its arm, and it does have 30 combat, which is not terrible. It's on par with us, but it only has one health, 1 hit point, or 1 wound. Excuse me. So basically, when we hit it once, we disable it. If we can hit it once, that is. So we're going to say it walks into the docking bay, and it's already got its gun trained on the drop ship. And we'll just go ahead and let it attack. We'll give it an advantage on this first attack because it's attacking the drop ship. So with small arms fire. And we will say we'll give it advantage. So it's going to get better than a 30 on its attack. That is a 0-0. That is a critical hit. So it shoots its submachine gun, and it's aiming specifically at our engine pods for our dropship to see if they can be disabled. And we see all of a sudden the engine light goes offline in our dropship. So now we're stuck here, and we have no recourse except to try to take control of this ship. And so let's go ahead and get some combat ready. We're gonna get Cade here, and what does he have for his weapons? I remember we got a few weapons from last time. Got the SMG, but it is currently out of ammo. He's got the laser cutter from Devin, and he's also got the pulse rifle from the bounty hunter. Okay, that's good. And he has a rigging gun. All right, and a stun baton. What does old boy have? Devin. He has got his revolver. Okay. So with this revolver, Devin, he's a coward, so he has to make a check every time he fights. So we know that we can't escape. We have to fight this thing, or it's going to sit there and wreck our ship. And so it got to go first. We're going to go ahead and move. We're going to be behind the cover of the dropship. So we do have cover, which will give us 2 AP, 2 damage reduction, besides the armor that we may or may not be wearing. What are we wearing? Standard crew. I'm assuming we're not wearing our vac suits. We're just going to be wearing our standard crew attire. So all of our AC will just be 1 for now. Let's see. Yeah. All of our AC will just be 1 at the moment. I don't want to be wearing our vac suits because we may have to move quickly through this. So let's go ahead and change our armor to 1. We're just wearing our normal attire. Okay, so Cade's going to go out first because he has the pulse rifle. He's going to take cover behind the drop ramp of this drop ship. And he's going to aim around. We're at close range. He's going to aim around the edge of this ship and take a shot at this droid. 1 hit will kill it. So he's going to attack with his pulse rifle. And we're going to roll. He doesn't have any combat advantages. So he rolls with 47 versus his 33 combat. And he misses and gains a stress. So he squeezes off around from his pulse rifle. And it whizzes by harmlessly, this droid. And it turns its attention now to Cade, having seen the gunfire come its way. And now Devin is going to come down the ramp as well. He's going to have to overcome his fear once again. Man, we got to get rid of this fear thing. This is awful. 41 versus 35. He fails. He can't handle the heat. And he runs back up into the dropship and looks for some way that maybe he can assist in this fight without having to attack directly. And Cade's like, God dang it, Devin, get back down here. And Devin's like, I'm so sorry, I just can't, I can't. And meanwhile, the droid is going to take another aim at Cade. He has to beat a 30. And he rolls a 28. That is a hit. Congratulations to him. And he is using an SMG just like Cade has here. So it's 2d10 damage. And let's see what we roll for that damage against Cade. That is a 14. Oh my god, that's a big hit. Oh, Cade does have the AP cover of his dropship here, but that's bad. Let's see, take damage, here it is, okay. So his damage is 14, and he's wearing the standard crew attire with an AP of 1, and he also has the damage reduction of 2 from the dropship, so that's going to be 12, that'd be 11 damage that he takes. Oh my gosh. Damage blocked 1, his armor is destroyed. So the droid lets loose with a burst from his submachine gun, and Cade is just a little bit too far out from behind that cover, and the bullets slam into his shoulder and spins him down, and he hits the ground wounded from this gunfire. And he's like, Devin, I'm hit. And Devin's like, oh my god. So Cade is going to try to pull himself up into a firing position, and he's going to take another shot at this droid, and we're going to attack. He's only got another shot, and then he'll have to reload. He's going to fire. Critical failure. Oh no! He shoots the pulse rifle, and he misses, and not only that, it jams, and he will not be able to reload the rifle until another turn passes, and then he can reload it. And so he's basically gonna, unless he drops this weapon and pulls another weapon, he's gonna lose a turn here. But his pulse shot goes wide and just slams against the hull of this shipwright ship, and it's largely unharmed because of the nature of this docking bay is pretty tough. And so now it is Devin's turn. Devin is going to try to overcome his fear once again. Come on, Devin, you can do it. Oh, yes! 36 versus a 35. He steals himself and runs down the ramp, peeks around the corner, and he is going to take a shot at this droid with his revolver. Gonna be the 45. Come on. 81. He takes a shot and misses. That is a stress for him as well. Stress is rising as they are unable to get a good hit against this droid. And now it is the droid's turn once again. He sees the new threat of Devin. He turns towards him and takes a shot. 16, another hit. Oh my god, this droid is on a roll. He aims his SMG embedded in his arm towards Devin. Lets loose a round. And how much damage does he do? 11, reduced by 2, so that's 9. Reduced by another one by his armor. That's 8, but still destroys his armor that is provided by his attire. And the bullets slam into Devin's midsection, and he spins to the ground, also wounded from this gunfire. And his cowardice is flaring up for sure. And so now it is Cade's turn. Cade is deciding what does he want to use for another weapon. He's got the laser cutter strapped to his back. He could just drop the... Yeah, he's going to drop the pulse rifle and not going to worry about trying to reload that. He's going to attack using the laser cutter. It's kind of a waste, but he's going to do it anyway. He's going to sling this laser cutter off from his back, and he does get his industrial equipment roll with that because it is industrial equipment. And he's going to add that to his attack roll. And he still fails with the laser cutter, and the laser cutter lashes out, and it probably does do damage to the ship. How much does it do damage to the ship? Let's ask the Oracle. 50% chance. Over 50 is a yes. 34, it does not. It harmlessly ricochets off the hull of this docking bay and dissipates into the air. Thankfully, no hull breach from inside the ship with this laser cutter. The boys are not doing great. Okay, so now it's Devin's turn to overcome his fear and his pain. He cannot. He cowardly runs back into the docking bay of his dropship, or not the docking bay, up the docking ramp of his dropship to try to retreat. And now it is the droid's turn. He's going to focus back onto Cade once again. And thankfully, he does not get a hit. The SMG splashes, the bullets splash harmlessly against the drop ramp of this dropship. And Cade is thankful that he does not take another hit, which, you know, depending on the SMG, it could do a lot of damage here. So we're going to go ahead and fire back with his pulse rifle. It should be unjammed now. Well, no, he didn't spend that round unjamming it, so he's going to have to use the laser cutter once again. He's going to fire with it. Another failure! Oh my god, we're rolling so terrible. The gods hate us. Once again, does it do damage to the ship? Yes, it does. Critical damage! Oh no! So the laser cutter lashes out, and let's roll randomly and see what damage it does. Okay, so it's we're in an operations area. We're in the landing bay. Let's go ahead and see what it hits from these features. Let's see what it hits here. 56. Intricate control panels. And so the laser cutter explodes into some control panels against the wall, and suddenly the gravity in this docking bay is released, and we all are now in 0G, which means everything is going to be more difficult. Okay, so, man, this sucks. But we do have 0G skills, both of us do, and so maybe that will help us to fight in this. Maybe it might help us more than the droid even. So he also is affected by this 0G. Okay, so now it's the droid's turn. Unfortunately, he does not have 0G, we'll say. Or does he have 0G training? Let's see. Does the droid have 0G training? I'm going to say not likely. So we have to get over a 75. And of course, the dice hate us. He does have 0G training. And so he does not get disadvantage on his rolls. None of us do, but we at least get to use our 0G skills if we do get to make attack rolls. Because now he's going to roll his attack without disadvantage. I was hoping he would get disadvantage, but nope. This defense droid is the real deal. He's going to fire, and he gets another hit against Cade. Oh my god, Cade, why? How much damage does he do? 2d10? A 7. Cade gets 7 more damage. We're going to reduce that by 2 because he's behind cover. So 5 more damage. He doesn't have his vac suit on. Alright. He's down to 5 health now. Not great. Not great at all. So the droid lays out some more fire, and the bullets hit as they spray around this docking bay. They kind of ricochet, and so they lose a little bit of their velocity, but still they graze Cade and causes some additional injury there as well. And now it's Cade's turn. He is going to drop this stupid laser cutter before he does more damage. He's going to try to reload the pulse rifle. Does he succeed in reloading the pulse rifle? I'm going to say likely. So anything under 75. Yes, he does. Alright, great. So now he's going to go ahead and fire. And he gets his 0G skill for that. And he's going to roll combat. Another failure. Golly. The pulse rifle, even though he's trained in 0G, he's not trained to fight. And so his shots range wide and do not hit this droid. Okay. My god. This is awful. Cade, can you... Devin, can you overcome your fear, please? We need you, bud. Oh, so close. So close. I'm going to say, with that close of a fear check, he does overcome his fear, but I'm going to have to attack with disadvantage, which is not good. Not good. So, he does overcome his fear, and he pushes himself down, so he floats through the drop ramp, and he's going to turn and try to fire. Disadvantage. A 26, that would have been a hit. And a 10! That is a hit! Both of them are a hit. Even with disadvantage, he aims his revolver and fires at the droid. And let's see what he gets. He gets 6 damage. It doesn't really matter. Any hit against the droid is a kill. The the revolver shot rings out in the 0G. The bullet flies through, lodges itself directly in the CPU stationed in the small rectangular head atop this droid's shoulders, and the lights go out for the droid, and he drifts harmlessly up into the ceiling of this docking bay. Whew! My god, that was tough. Devin and Cade are in a bad spot. Still, though, there could be more droids. They are in 0G. They're both wounded. Let's go ahead and see if we can move over to the control panel and see if there's a way to reestablish gravity control here. Let's do it. He's going to do a mechanical repair check, which is a plus 15. So he's going to move with speed and 0G. I'm going to add a 0G skill too. So we're going to say 25 plus speed, which is 40. So he's going to make a 60. He's going to beat a 65. Come on, Devin. You can do this. No! So he repairs. He starts working on the repairs on this 0G, but he fails to do so in a timely manner. And what happens? Does another droid come into 50% chance? No, it does not, thankfully. So he fails to repair it in a timely manner, but after about an hour, no additional reinforcements arrive, and he's able to restore the gravity of the docking bay, and they both sit gently back down onto the docking bay. So let's take a little look around inside this docking bay and see what other feature we can find here. 73 video surveillance monitors. Okay, so there are multiple monitors showing the interior of the docking bay here, so I guess so security forces can monitor. We're going to see if we can tap into this and see other parts of the ship, and we're going to use Cade for that. He's got some computer skills, so I'm just going to say it's an automatic success, right? He's just going to basically use the control panels and take a look. What does he see in the video cameras? Let's see how many rooms he can cycle through. So we're going to say this is a medium-sized ship, like a frigate-sized ship. How many sections are in the ship? Okay, so we're going to say it's the same size as the freighter. It's a shipwright ship, meaning it is primarily used for repairing other ships when they're not in a dock. So it can you know, kind of like act like a tender from naval days, where a ship can come alongside a wounded ship and help repair and work on that ship. Similar type situation. Also, I'm going to say that ships can dock inside of the docking bay and get repaired there as well. So we might be able to repair our dropship with the gear that is in here, but we're going to see if we can clear out the rest of the ship first. So we're going to say it has, how many decks does it have? 5+ decks. I'm going to roll a d4 and see how many decks it has. This ship has 4 decks. Okay. Fine. And inside these 4 decks are 3d6 rooms each. Let's see what's on this deck. 3d6. Oh my god, that's a lot. 16 rooms on this deck. So deck 1, 16 rooms. On deck 2, how many rooms? 3d6, we'll say 10 rooms. Golly, that's a huge ship. Big ship. And then finally for the third deck, how many rooms? 7. Third deck, 7 rooms. Alright. Man, this is gonna be wild. This is going to be wild for sure. Alright. So we are currently in the docking bay. We're gonna stay together. I was gonna say we might split up and explore it, but we're gonna say that we do not do that. So we are currently in the docking bay. Let's take a look and see what the next area is going to be. And we're going to remove these. We're going to just roll 53. So we go through the entrance of the ship and it goes into a living area. And what kind of living area here? For food storage. Okay. So I'm going to draw a little map for myself of this first deck. So this is the docking bay, and then we go into a living area. And what's in this living area? 81. Unusual art. Interesting. Okay. So they come into this room and there's some geometric art that is kind of holographic in nature. Not holographic, what do you call that? Whenever optical illusion. It's like an optical illusion in nature. So whenever you move around this art piece, it looks different from different angles. And we're going to roll a d6, and we'll say that on a 1 or 2, we'll give ourselves a break here. We'll say 1, 2, or 3, there's nothing in here. A 4 or a 5 is an opportunity, and a 6 is a peril. Yes, I'm kind of I'm giving myself a bit of a break here. And we'll say the peril is probably just going to be, we're not going to use the peril in here because this is more for a derelict, so we'll probably just say some sort of defenses. Alright, so not a 6, please. Alright, so there's nothing in here. Okay, so they move into this living area, and how many doors are in here in this living area? 1. Okay, so there's only 1 door through the living area, so we're going to go on through that door and see what we see in the next room. There's 16 rooms in this place. 42 is another living area. That kind of makes sense. What kind of living area is this one? 83. A new zone. What does that mean? So it's just kind of like a corridor, I guess. We'll say it's just kind of like a little bit of a corridor that goes through here. And how many doors are in this corridor? Just 1. Okay, so it's like an empty corridor that goes into a new zone. No problem there. They just pass through this empty corridor. The lights are bright, and the ship seems to be in well-maintained condition. It's not all rickety-rackety or anything like that. It's like a pretty decent ship. And so they're going to continue to push through into the next area. Using the security cameras, of course, they can see that well, let's just ask the Oracle. Using 50-50%, did they see any other droids on the cameras? Over 50. So yes they did. How many droids did they see total? So we know there are 33 rooms to this place. Are there any droids on this deck? 50-50. Yes, a big hell yes. Okay. I'm going to say that all the droids are on this deck. How many droids are there total? What should I roll? Let's drill a d6. That sounds like a lot. 4. Okay, there's 4 droids on this deck. Alright, 4 droids total, I suppose. Okay, so I'm going to say, since we know that all of the droids are on this deck, that's going to increase the chances that we run into a droid while we explore deck 1. Okay, and so we're going to say that instead of just a 6, we'll say it's a 5 and a 6 to run into a droid as we explore these rooms. Okay, that sounds good to me. All right, so we pass through this access area, and what is the next room? 23. That is an engineering section. Okay, and what kind of engineering section is this? Life support. Okay. So this is a life support area. And what kind of stuff do we see in here? What are some features? 09, control terminal, and what else? Several control terminals. Okay. All right. Good. And how many exits do we see from this room? Just 1. All right. It's a very linear ship so far. It's just like a long column with, I guess, the 2 decks are going to be stacked below and above, we'll say. All right. And finally, is one of the droids in this room. Going to roll our d6. 5 and a 6, there is a droid in this room. No, it's an opportunity. Okay, so a 1, 2, and 3 is nothing. A 4 is an opportunity. And a 5 and a 6 is a droid. What kind of opportunity is in here? 27. Chance to restore power or function. Oh, okay. So life support, chance to restore power or function. All right. So we're going to say that as we're kind of searching through this room, checking for things, we can see that there are, this is a life support room. So, oh, what the heck. We'll just say, in addition to life support, there are some controls that we can use to turn on the automated repair in the docking bay. And so if we can figure out this control panel here, we can turn it on and it will begin working to repair our dropship. There will be some little repair drones come out and start working on our dropship in our docking bay. Why not? Let's see if we can figure that out. We'll give Okade a computer check for that. And he's going to use his intellect with computers. A success! Fantastic. So Cade figures out that there are some repair drones in the docking bay that can be activated from this control panel. Probably the control panels that we destroyed did the same thing in the docking bay, but luckily we could find them here in this room as well. That makes sense. And he turns it on and he can see on a little monitor that several droids activate within the docking bay and begin to work on their dropship, repairing the hull where it had been shot up. And I know they did rudimentary repairs at the at Hope 5, but it's repairing their comm relay and all of the damage that has been done to the dropship, including the engines that the nasty droid destroyed. So in case we need to make a quick escape, we can, which is excellent. Okay, great. Fantastic. Okay, let's continue onward. There's one door out of this. What do we see next for our next zone? 37. Another living area. Golly, a lot of living areas here. And what is this one? 81. A new zone. Okay, it's just another empty corridor. Fantastic. Is there a droid in here? Yes. Dang. So they open up the door to this section, and there, standing in this empty corridor, is another one of those same nasty droids with his SMG. Is he aware of us? I'm going to say 50-50 chance. No. In fact, I'm going to say it's a hell no, which that means we're going to get advantage on our attack. And so Cade is going to sneak up on this droid, and he's going to try to hit it with his stun baton. So he's going to get advantage on his attack here. So let's go ahead and do a combat attack with, oops, let's go to the stun baton. He's got that stun baton. He has to sneak up adjacent to it. That's fine. We get advantage because he's sneaking up, and let's roll. Success. All right, fantastic. So Cade sneaks up on this droid as it's standing there idling, and he uses the stun baton, smashes it in the back of that droid's head. It activates the stun, and as like an ionic burst, it shorts out the droid, and it stands like motionless, and then clunk, falls over in a big metallic clunk. And let's see, can we access a panel on this droid and get some SMG ammo from its, like, to reload our magazine? We'll give ourselves 50-50% chance. Yes, we can. So Cade is able to, how many reloads does he get? Is it more than one? 50-50% chance? Yes? No? Just one. Okay. Alright, so that's fine. We're going to reload his SMG. I'll have to add a reload first before I can reload. Bink. There we go. That's fine. I'll take that. Okay, so that is another droid down. So now we're down to 3 droids. Now how many doors are exiting from this room? There are 3. Okay. So we'll say that they go to the left, to the right, and then forward. So there's a little bit of an expanding area of the ship in this part, which is good. So let's see what is next. We're going to go through this door straight ahead. 37. So we've got 5 rooms so far. 37. What is this room? Another living area. Man, a lot of living areas in this place. Okay, and what kind of living area is this one? Another new zone. Wow, these are just like empty corridors everywhere. That's fine. Is there a droid in here? No, nothing. Okay, good. That's good. How many doors from this place? 4 doors. Okay, so that means there's a door and 1 stairway that goes up or down. Does it go up? Over 50% chance it goes up. So it goes down. Okay. So we can either go down to the next deck, which means there would be no droids there. No, I think we need to clear out these droids. So we're going to continue to go forward, and we can come back here if necessary to find more areas. Let's go forward. What do we get next? 28. Is that another freaking living area? No, it's good. Another engineering area. Okay. What is this engineering area? A control room. All right, fantastic. So we come to a control room. Okay. And what features do we see in this control room? We'll do 2 features. 52. Multi-level layout. Okay. And a control terminal. Makes sense. So this is some sort of control area, and it's got like an upper level and a lower level reachable. If in 0G they can just float up, but it also has like a little ladder that you can climb, and it's kind of like a catwalk that goes around the top of this area. Is there a droid in here? 5 or 6? No, there's not a droid. Okay, so I'm guessing there's not much that we can learn from these control panels. Okay, how many exits are from this place? 2. Okay, so this one goes to the left and to the right. So we are going to go left then. And what do we see to the left? 94. 94. Oh, a research area. Nice. Cool. What's in this one? 74. A secure vault. Oh, nice. So we come up to a secure vault. Is there a droid in here? No. Fantastic. What features do we see? 2 features. 48. Hastily destroyed data. And 94. Descriptor focus. 74. Pillaged. And then let's see the focus. 59. Pillaged outpost. Okay, so we don't know this yet, but inside of this vault is the loot basically from an outpost that these bounty hunters raided and took. So there's going to be some sort of cargo in there, presumably, and some, it said hastily destroyed data, but let's say it is some sort of data that they wanted to keep secret. Like, we don't know yet, but something that they wanted to keep secret, definitely. Oh, maybe the fact that they raided an outpost. Maybe these bounty hunters also like part-time pirates. You know, you never know. And so, do we want to try to crack this vault? I think we probably do. We don't even know what the name of this ship is, do we? Well, aren't you special? Let's grab the name of the ship from one of the terminals while we're at it here. 46, the long haul. Okay. Okay, so we have this research vault, and do we want to try to break into it? We found 13 rooms on this floor so far, so we'll have to watch that as we continue to expand this place. I think we will try to break into this vault, and why don't we use our computer skills to try to do so with Cade. So he's going to roll his computers, intellect, computers, failure. Okay, so he tries to hack into this vault but it's unable to. Maybe we find something later that will give us some sort of clue that we can use to break into this thing, or maybe we can blow it or something. Who knows? But keep in mind that we do have a vault on this ship that we could try to get into later. Our stress is starting to get a little high. He's at 14. Devin is at 11. So, not great. Okay, well, let's go across the hallway to the other room that was off this control panel room. This is a 65, which is a medical area. Oh my god, that's wonderful. 65, what kind of medical area is it? A new zone? No, I am not going to accept that. Let's roll again. 48, a morgue. Oh god, a morgue. Okay. Are there any bodies in this morgue? We'll find out. But first, is there a droid in this? No, no droid. Well, let's roll 2 features. 90. Descriptor and focus. Okay, what else? 25. Bloody medical supplies. Okay. So that makes sense. Maybe they're doing like, this is a morgue. Maybe they're doing like autopsies and things of some captured prisoners, or maybe other crewmates, or who knows. This is a large ship after all, so. Are there bodies in the morgue? Let's say it's likely, so over a 25. Yes, there are bodies in the morgue. Okay, interesting. Okay. There's no perils, no opportunities in here. Just some bodies in the morgue. Let's roll on the descriptor and focus. What else do we see in here? 18. Collapsed. 53. Message. Collapsed message. Collapsed message. So looking through the computers here, we see the captain's log about, or maybe the medic's log, or the medical examiner's log, one of the people's log, about how the people were killed when they were attacking the outpost. Okay, so some of their crew was killed while attacking that outpost, and this kind of tells about their injuries and what their names were, which I don't really care, but we do get to see the person who is entering the log. What is their name? 31. This person's name was Aram 94. Aram Wolf. Aram Wolf. Okay. Is Aram Wolf the bounty hunter and captain? We'll say likely. So anything over 25. Yes. Hell yes. Okay. Doesn't really matter for this, but that's fine. So Aram Wolf was the bounty hunter that we killed, that attacked us, and he was also the captain of this ship. He very mechanically outlined the things that happened. There was no emotion involved in any of his notes there. Okay, we're gonna backtrack back through to where we were in that access area that had the stairs down, or the hatch that goes down a level. And then there's 2 other rooms that were branching to the left and right from that area. So we're going to go to the left door of that first. And we are going to try to clear that. What do we see here? A 68. .68 is an operations room. Nice. This is a computer core. Oh, like a server room, kind of nice. Fantastic. And what are the features in here? 22 control terminals, good. Figures, and 99 descriptor focus. 19 colossal. 19 creation colossal. So, oh, interesting. Yeah, so in this room, there are the controls for the shipwright ship to be able to basically construct ships. And you have to have sets of blueprints to enter into the computer. And you also have to have the materials on board. I'm going to say very unlikely, But are those things available on the ship? We have to get greater than a 90. Okay, 44, no. So that means with a hell no like that, that means there are neither the materials nor the blueprints. But the ship is capable of basically, I almost want to say printing a ship, but not really. But the repair drones can be used to assemble small craft like fighters, shuttles, drop ships, things like that, if you have the right materials and you have the blueprints. So that's very interesting. And maybe that's something we could pursue in the future if we do take control of this ship, which is yet to be seen. Okay. And finally, is there a droid in this room? Yes, there is. Okay. We'll say there's just one droid for the sake of living. So does the droid see us? 50% chance? Yes, it does. In fact, not only does it see us, it gets initiative. And so when we first open the door to the room, it is standing facing the door and it sees us and immediately opens fire. And who is it targeting? Is it targeting Devin? Yes, it is. All right, Devin, here's your attack on Devin. 57. It misses. So thankfully the shots ring out against Devin and it misses. And now Devin's going to go ahead and try to make an attack. He has to overcome his fear. He does not overcome his fear and he cowers behind the doorway so that he is fully covered. And Cade spits in disgust. "You coward, get into the fight!" And he uses his newly armed SMG to attack against the droid. He fires and he gets a success. The bullets slam into the core of the droid and it falls dysfunctional into the ground. All right, 50% chance. Can we retrieve ammo from it? Yes, we can. Fantastic. How many reloads? 2. Fantastic. So he is able to get inside the wounded droid and get 2 reloads for his SMG into his pockets. Okay, fantastic. Man, that's great. All right. So onward and upward. So this is a control room for ship blueprints. Shipbuilding. That's fantastic. This is a really cool ship. I'm really enjoying this. Okay, let's go across the aisle to the other room. This will be the 11th room, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, the 11th room out of 16 rooms. Okay. And so, what do we see in this other room? 88. A production area. Okay. What kind of production area? 67. Raw material storage. Ooh. Okay. Makes sense that it is across the way from the control center. And so this raw materials area has what in it? 65 tools. Okay, good. And 69 more tools. Lots and lots of tools. Fantastic. This is production. This is a server room. Okay. This is really, really cool. Really cool ship. All right. Is there droids in here? No. Good. Are there tools that we can use in here? Yes or no? I'm going to say likely. Anything over 25? Nope. Not immediately useful for us. The tools are probably used for ship repairs and things like that. Things that would be good overall, but not for us to carry around. So that's fine. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that revelation. Okay. We're going to go back through. There's 2 more doorways that we have unexplored. And that will put us at 14 rooms. No, that'll put us at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That'll put us at 13 rooms. We will say that it's only 13 rooms because, well, we'll see what we find in these. Is there other doorways from this room? Oops, let's say yes or no. 21? That's a no. Okay, so that's what I thought, but I wanted to double check. Okay, so let's go through the back to the second empty corridor, and there were 2 doors there, to the left and to the right, and that will put us. That'll be at 13, so we'll say there's 2. I won't roll for doors on there. I'll know that there's 2 additional doors that we have to explore, so that we have a nice symmetrical ship. I like a nice symmetrical ship. Okay, so this one will be what? 18. Another engineering area. 64. A vehicle bay or garage. Oh, neat. Okay. So it's not quite like the docking bay. This is going to be more like if we land on a planet, we can use some sort of vehicles like APCs or something in there. Interesting. Let's see what's in here. 25. Disassembled equipment. Okay. And 18. Crane or lift. Awesome. Okay, so this is a vehicle bay. Is there an intact vehicle in here? 50% chance. No. Alright. That's fine. Is there a El Droido in here? No. There is an opportunity, though. Let's see what is in here as an opportunity. 72. A helpful utility bot. Oh, neat. So there's a friendly droid in here, a utility bot that we can use for something. We'll decide at some point what is good there, but there is a utility bot here. Okay, we'll decide how we can use him in the future. But going to the there is a door that leads out of here that goes back towards in the same direction as the rest of the hull. Like, it doesn't branch further out, it just goes in the same direction as the rest of the hull, parallel to it. But we're not going to check that just yet. We're going to go across the hall and check that room as well. So that will be, there will be 2 more rooms left from that. Okay, what is this room? 19. Another engineering section. 83. Alright, so a new zone, which just basically means it's like an empty, maybe like a little storage area or something like that. Is there a droid in here? 5. Yes, there is. So we're going to say this is a droid workshop area where they work on droids. And is this droid active? Yes, it is. Okay. So does he see us? Yes, just barely. Okay. So he sees us, but he is not going to get to attack us first. We're going to roll initiative. He rolls over 30. No. Okay, so we get to strike first. Cade will go first. Cade, my man. And he's going to take a shot with his SMG. And roll. He gets a failure just barely. We're going to say that is a success, but it uses an extra ammo with that amount of failure there. So let's say he uses 2 bursts of his SMG. The bullets slam into the center mass of this droid and it falls to the ground. But since he had to use 2, since it was a failure, I'm going to say it's unlikely that there is, if he's able to get ammo from this droid, has to get lower than a 25. And he does. He still gets ammo. Fantastic. And 4. Wow. Ooh, wow. Dang, son. Now he's up to 6 reloads. Oops. If I can get all kinds of SMG ammo. Alright. 1 droid left, right? Yeah. Only 1 droid left. We're going to go back across the hallway to the... Oh, no, we're already across the hallway. We're going to check out this last area here. Oh, yeah, it's across the hallway. We have to go to check out this last area. And what kind... Oh, was there anything else in this room? I don't think so. It was just kind of an empty workshop. Let's see what else is in here. As I said, it was like a workshop. 59... Pipes and valves. Okay, so there's pipes and valves running along the walls that provide probably power and fluid to other parts of the ship. This is kind of like a little storage area for droids, I guess. And so we go across to the very last room for this ship. And let's see what we find in this area. It's an 80. I think that's a operations room. This. And 91. It's an access area. Okay. So this access area goes to the upper deck instead of the lower deck. And what kind of access area? Probably stairs, I imagine. No, it's a corridor. Just kind of has like a ramping up to, yeah, I don't like that. We'll just say it's stairs. Stairs that go up to the upper decks. Okay. Is there a droid in here? Is the last droid in here? Yes, he is. He's here. Okay. So the final droid, does he see us? Yeah, no, he does not. Okay. So we get to roll first. Let's check out the features in here first. 65 is scrawled warnings. Nah, I don't like that. 9 blood trail. Nah, I don't like that either. Because this is a derelict table, right? So let's say there's some gear in here that is stored. It's like a gear storage area. And okay, is any of the gear useful to us? Let's see. Yes or no? That's a 0-0. That's a no. It is not. Okay. So this droid, Cade, is going to roll to attack the droid first since he is not a coward. He's going to fire his SMG and he misses. Wow. Misses the droid. So he squeezes off a shot and the droid steps aside at the last second and the shots ring wide. And now it is Devin's cowardly turn. He's going to roll for his fear save and he fails. He pushes himself back through the door so that he is not exposed. Oh my gosh, Devin, I can't wait to get you treated for this. Dang, that sucks. Okay. And then finally, the droid gets to attack. Devin is, of course, cowering behind a wall, so he is not a target. Cade can be targeted, though, and he misses. So Cade is able to press himself against the door frame, and the bullets splash harmlessly against the door, and the droid misses. Cade turns and fires his SMG, the last shot before he has to reload, and it is successful. His shots slam into the droid's head, and it falls to the ground with a metallic clink. And we're gonna say, can he salvage ammo from it? Yes, he can. How many? 2. You are the man. You are the man. He's got tons of ammo now from this little encounter. That's great. And it looks like that was the last droid. The ship is ours. Okay. So we still have 2 decks to explore. And I'm just curious about, should I have perils of some sort? Most active ships aren't going to have a lot of perils in them, right? We've defeated the defenses that we rolled initially that the ship would have. I don't think that's a problem now. We surprisingly, other than that initial contact, we've done quite well against the droids that were protecting this ship. It's most like hours now. We're going to have to, of course, change the transponder, or maybe, oh my God, I just got an idea. Devin may decide to pose as Aram Wolf. Like when he, oh, interesting. I wonder if there's a way we can do that. Okay. Let's just, and we're not going to explore the rest of the ship. We do know that there is an upper deck. So deck we'll say this is deck 2. We said it was 1 initially, but it makes sense if this is deck 2. Deck 1 is above, and deck 3 is below. For deck 1, we're just going to roll right quick the rooms and see what deck 1 has. Now, deck 1 supposedly has 10 rooms, so we'll say that it is in a formation similar to the one we saw here. So we have 1, 2, 3. Don't need to hear me counting. Okay, so we got 10 rooms on the upper deck. I'm going to roll for each one of them. I'm not going to roll all the features of it. We can do that at some other time. I'm just going to roll for each room and see what we get for these rooms. All right, so 10 rooms here. We're going to check them out at some point. 38 living. Okay. 53 is another living. Lots of living areas. 35 is another living area. Geez, this is like the crew quarters, I guess. We might find all kinds of stuff in there. 17, including like a galley, perhaps. That's the engineering room. Okay. 39. Living, all right. 86. Production, all right. Cool. I hope I find another medical area. 26. Engineering, okay. 71. Operations. That's kind of exactly what I was thinking. We're going to say that's the bridge without rolling for it. And 68 is another operations. Okay. And 58, medical. Yes. And I'm going to definitely say that that is some sort of a med bay. What kind of med bay? Don't know. We'll find out. Medical offices is what I'm leaning towards. It says emergency or triage. Okay. It's like a emergency room, like a treat. We'll say it's a treatment area of some sort, you know, where they can, first aid area. Okay, that's fine. We'll see what we can get done for ourselves there in that medical area. That's great. This is a fantastic ship. The next one is only 7 rooms. And the spine of the ship runs dorsally, front to back. It's 7 rooms. So we'll say, what are these 7 rooms? Engineering. Okay. This is, man, we can have a whole adventure just with this ship. 42 living. 28 engineering. This is like the lower level. 100 is a research, another research area. I'm interested in that. 28 engineering, okay. 76 operations, okay. And 06 engineering. Wow, that's lots of opportunities to find some cool stuff in these areas of the ship. This has been really cool. I hope you have enjoyed it. I certainly have enjoyed this episode. I don't know how this is going to affect our storyline now that we have this shipwright freighter for ourselves. Super interesting that now we have the ability to jump ourselves through hyperspace. One of these areas is definitely going to be crypto cryo storage with pods for the crew, which is just the 2 of us now. But yeah, it's going to be really expensive to keep a ship like this running for 2 people that basically have no income. So Should we just sell this ship, or I don't know. I don't want it to break my game, like having this awesome ship for ourselves. So I'm gonna give that some thought. You know, we may have some sort of circumstances that are ill-fated for us in store. We'll see what happens. But I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, be sure and hit that like button. It really helps the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.